Welcome back to Vader's Lair, guys. It's your boy Sheev the Wise with Green Bear here, and I think Kendall is supposed to be coming here pretty soon too. We're gonna get straight into it though. We're talking some Obi-Wan Kenobi today, and we're gonna go over episodes 1 and 2, kind of get our overall reaction since I didn't get a chance to really stream it yet or talk about it much other than the other day when I briefly discussed it with the chat. But how you doing, Green Bear? What'd you think of episodes 1 and 2, bro?
Bro, phenomenal
Hell
stuff. I was waiting for something big. I think we got something big. Might not be what everybody wanted, but sorry. I like it.
Dude, I think it was what a lot of people wanted, though, if I'm being honest. I mean, I don't know about you, but I thought those first 2 episodes were phenomenal. I know you just said like it was crazy too. You liked it, but I'm still blown away. I barely watched it for the second time last night, kind of in the background, and so many little details in the episode that just hit differently even watching the second time. I talked about last stream. The girl that tried to give spice to Obi-Wan was actually Ewan McGregor's daughter, which I just thought was hilarious.
Yeah, that was crazy. I heard that afterwards too. I'm like, what? So he's got those EP rights, so he gets to do what he wants.
Yeah, executive producer, right? Exactly. What's up, T Mando goes? I think T Man does games. Oh, I'm whack. Hey, Tim, I hope you're having a good time too, my guy. All right, so let's talk about this episode. So what do you think of the beginning, how it kind of starts with Order 66? And, it seems like Reva or Reva, however you say her name, was part of that scene. What did you think during that scene? Like, what was going through you and everybody in the chat? Like, what did you guys think too? I mean, that was pretty wild opening.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, it leaves me wanting more. I think that was the point. Like get us a little taste of that Order 66. And I think they're going to come back to it a lot during the series, hopefully.
Yeah.
I was expecting actually in the second episode for them to hit it again and like go a little, just keep going like a dual storyline, which I would be perfectly fine with. But
me too. Me friggin' too, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with that, you talked about seeing it multiple times throughout the show. I think that's definitely going to be the case. And like, I haven't really been thinking about that too much, but I mean, how perfect was that scene when Obi-Wan was having the flashbacks of the prequels and everything too? You know what I mean? Like,
bro, let's talk about Anakin. The recap.
Yeah, I like the recaps too. I thought it was cool. I was hitting up Tim last night actually because he was watching it for the first time, and he's I'm like, oh yeah, there's recaps to the episodes and like with everything. You're right though.
I was like, I mean, you've been hyping everybody up just leading up to it, so I mean, coming into it, watching all the Clone Wars, a lot of the Clone Wars. I definitely didn't watch all of it. And then breaking up your Revenge of the Sith stream and watching it again, it got me right in the mood. So,
bro, I'm dead.
But
for sure, though. What you mean, Tim? You the GOAT? That's why you're getting exposed because you're the GOAT. Aaron says it would make sense to learn that Reva was in that scene. Otherwise, it would be kind of arbitrary to frame. No, I totally agree with you, Aaron. Otherwise, it's kind of like, what's this scene doing in the beginning of the show? And I think it kind of even felt that way watching it the first. Like, you don't really think about it. You're like watching. You're like, dang, this is they're executing Order 66 on us again. Like, and then they don't really go back to it. So you're kind of more focused on Obi-Wan. But thinking back to those episodes, it does kind of feel like that was almost out of place compared to how the rest of the show has been so far. So to your point, I imagine they're going to really hammer home on that later on in the show.
Yeah, man. It's definitely just, oh, there he is. There's Kendall finally.
We'll let him get all set up first.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, you started off, I didn't even know what was going on. But nah, man, it was definitely like the whole thing really in general leaves you wanting more, like
it does.
I mean, it was awesome. The only I have one nitpick with the whole show, and like we can get to that once we address like the second episode ending. But I'm like, I'm hearing a lot about Obi-Wan's powered down. How's he even protecting Luke? It's like, what does he got to do besides like not draw people to him? That's how he's protecting. If you don't get that, you don't really get what happened in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, So
yeah. So do you think what they're kind of doing with the show with having Leia get captured by these bounty hunters to draw Kenobi in? Like, I mean, even from the leaks, and of course we're not really going to get into them now, but I will say so far they've been pretty accurate, and I'm wondering where it's going to go, because I feel like episodes 3, 4, and 5 are kind of up in the air, and we don't really know as much about those episodes. And I mean, we haven't really even seen him fight Riva yet, and of course, we got that crazy ending. And like, what did you think of that ending of Riva retaliating? What'd you think of the Grand Inquisitors getting stabbed in the stomach? Like, what was going through your mind?
all right, we're going there already then. I think I texted you like I'm like WTF, like I'm trying to keep it kid friendly on your stream, but like honestly, there's different ways we can go with this, right? I've heard people saying like this dude's got 2 stomachs apparently. I've heard people saying like, if this is the case and he's still alive, why isn't Qui-Gon still alive?
Hey, that's a fair thing.
I've heard people being like, oh, that's not the real Grand Inquisitor. So it's like maybe Lucasfilm is actually being smart with this and giving us something to guess about and something to speculate about in between this episode and the next. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just totally retconning things and pissing me off. I don't know. But my first reaction was like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, no, I kid you not. I mean, obviously I was at Celebration and we're watching the early premiere. And when it happened, I was like, whoa. That came out of nowhere. What's up, Kendall?
There he is.
Hope you're doing well, Master Kunch. Welcome into the chat, Sensei. Everybody, go check out Green Bear's channel. I believe it's still called The Beskar Boner for now. And then Kendall, go check out Normies to Nerds as well. What'd you think of Kenobi, bro?
Bro, I actually really enjoyed Kenobi, bro.
Hell yeah.
From the first episode, second episode, it was pretty good, pretty well paced. Like it was just a good, quality, good show, for those first 2 episodes. So yeah, there's not much bad I can really say about it. Really. But I mean,
the features here.
She just.
Hey, I was trying to see what looked good.
But now, from the for example, from just the film, the cinematography or the film aspects of it, setting the hobbies that it was going through with Kenobi at the beginning, to just really from Kenobi, his interaction with trying to deny being a Jedi and that stuff, and kind of his distancing from the Jedi. And from the Force as well, was pretty dope to see. It wasn't something I was really expecting to see. I felt like Kenobi would be someone who was in touch with the Force or be training in secret the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really found that to be interesting. So yeah, it was good, man. I'm not gonna take the conversation there. Haven't already. But no, yeah, he is just gonna knock me off the screen. But I only have one issue, and that was Reva. But other than that, that was it.
Talk about this, bro. Because
do you want to get
straight
into it? Because I mean, I was gonna bring up Anthony YouTube fans comment here in a sec, but we can get straight into it if you want to. And so he says, Vader's lair. I gotta say, Riva is the most annoying of the Inquisitors I've encountered, including Star Wars Rebels. She better redeem herself as a character, and I mean, maybe this is a little bit of a more, hot take or hot take in terms of being upset with it or just not liking the character, which is totally cool to not like a character, but I don't know. I don't feel like she's that annoying personally. I know people might not like her, and I saw something personally today that someone, just to start off this conversation, someone basically was saying, well, what don't you like about her? And someone's listing all the things they don't like about her, and it's she doesn't follow rules. She's headstrong and tries to intimidate everyone and gives this whole list of things. And someone quote tweeted it, and they're take out the she, and that dude is literally describing Anakin. And it's yeah. And And I'm not saying she's Anakin by any means, but yeah, I don't
No,
think
that's
she's
what you're
anywhere.
saying, Chief.
No, I'm not. I'm saying she
Got
has a
him.
lot of the
Clip it.
yeah, characteristics.
Clip it.
She's got characteristics like Anakin, but she's not the chosen one. She don't have that kind of power level, and I think she knows she plays to her strengths. I don't think she is as strong as the Inquisitors. I think the Grand Inquisitor is telling the truth, saying she's the least of them, but at the same time, she's smarter than a lot of them too. Like the rest of them have almost given up on chasing after Kenobi, and she's like, well, get this. I know for a fact that Kenobi was friends with this senator guy, Bail Organa. He's got a daughter. Let's kidnap the daughter, see if Bail Organa calls him, and that's exactly what happened. So the rest of them were like, he's a ghost. He's never gonna come back. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like
Right.
I
she
mean,
was
like,
just playing. She's playing to her strengths, and I think she even was not afraid to, face Kenobi. But her talking about Vader, like the fact that she knows that, however she does, maybe that's just something that all the Inquisitors knows. And my bad, I'll let y'all talk. But
oh, you good.
uh,
You good.
It's your
It's
channel,
like-
man.
I know, but
Do what you want.
I mean, I just think like she's trying to get in his head, and like that's the whole point of bringing up Vader. And your student's alive. You didn't kill him, dude. Like, and I don't think she can take on Kenobi. And if we see them fight at some point, we're gonna see that. Like he's gonna take her down. She's still kind of badass from what I've seen. Just slicing up people's arms and
No,
her
she's fantastic.
crazy prequel parkour and everything.
Took off old lady's hand with no remorse.
Yeah, like
No
she's dead ass. Like here's the thing. Like I feel like there's an opportunity for me to really like her by the end of the series, right? But like just for right now, like I'm just struggling to figure out like why her. Like you know what I mean? Like just why Reba. Like to me, it's like you have her doing all this stuff. Like well, damn, like the Grand. I'm pretty sure would have thought before watching this that the Grand Inquisitor would have been had that type of attitude. Like really, I thought anybody on the Inquisitor would have had that type of attitude and like have that type of fierceness and ferocity about them, like to be there. I mean, and that's just from like I know I'm not like as well.
No, you're
versed,
good.
like from like the comics or what have you, but just in the like just from Rebels and like what I saw with the Grand Inquisitor from there, like I thought that would be him doing that and like being that relentless instead of just Reva being on the like over the top. So like to me, it's like. It just would have felt better if I know like why she feels this way, right? So I mean, like I said, by the end of the series, like it could be a complete 360 around it. Well, not a complete 360 because I'd be right back at the same spot. Like like a complete 180 around it. But like this is not like some of the things I've seen too is like, well, why not have Barris have that role? Like that role would have been, you know what, like have. Moses Ingram could have played Barrett. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have had
I think Dave might have a plan for Barrett.
He might have a plan for Barrett.
We'll see, though.
It's like, why not? Why do you have to create somebody that is this way in order to have them portrayed here? And I think that's probably, to be honest, where people feel like it's a little forced. I honestly feel like it's a bit forced too as well. She could have been cast and look just like the other Inquisitors, but instead you keep her. I mean, they're just being 100 and keeping it real. So it's just Moses Ingram is doing a good job, but it's just like, bro, it's just, I'm really trying to figure out what Star Wars.
Hey, if you don't connect with the character, like
I mean, it's just like why, like that's hanging me up. It's like why her?
Okay,
that's like, I'm usually not the type of dude, bro. Like I'm usually not the type to get hung up in like the politics of a character, but really, like I think that's really what's kind of stumping me on her. It's like, but why her though? So I mean, if they show it at the end of the series, and like if she was one of the ones that was like in that opening scene, like some of the theories are saying or what have you, then maybe that make more sense, if you will. But it's just like you never heard of this chick, and it's Kenobi.
It is definitely interesting. I think you're bringing up valid points there. Just like, but I think that's part of the show unraveling. Like we're gonna maybe find out more about her character. To your point of, maybe that is her in the beginning. So. I think it's totally valid though, and I think it's cool to be skeptical of her character in a way. Like I personally have enjoyed her, but I totally can see how someone might not so far, or just maybe get irritated as Anthony YouTube fan is, because I know a lot of people didn't like Anakin in the prequels, or like it wasn't what their version of Darth Vader might have been, and the prequels weren't loved right away. You know what I mean? So I totally can see how people might not even connect with her or, understand her character yet, because there's still a lot of her character to unpack too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
was
was
gonna
gonna
say,
say,
what do you think of her, dude?
just get ready to interject. No, so I can live with this talk, right? Because the other stuff I'm hearing is like, this is a bad actor. It's like I'm not like seeing that at all. I think
Right.
she's doing a great job. But if you want to talk about just the character itself, like that's fine. What I would like, couple things for what Kendall's saying, like why her and why not the Grand Inquisitor, bro? In Rebels, like Grand Inquisitor has no fucking idea where Kenobi is. Like none of these dudes do. They're not even on their radar. We don't even not even on Ezra's radar until what, like the second to last season or the last
Yeah,
season.
almost the
Yeah.
end of the third. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It is the end of the third, pretty much.
Right.
And
So then
that's because Maul's looking for him too. It's not because
Yeah.
the Inquisitors.
I do think if they had like Barisafi in this role, that would have been phenomenal.
10 times better.
Yeah, and you could have used the same actor probably too.
Yeah.
So like that could have been a misstep, but I think maybe all I can think of is maybe they're just trying to use an unknown because this is like a piece of the story that's never really talked about before too. So
Yeah, and I mean, I always love the lore building. So like a new character to me, like being a fan as long as I have, like I'm always open to adding new characters and expanding the lore. So like for me, it was open arms to Reva the whole time. I think her lightsaber is super cool, even though it's like a $500 Hasbro toy. It looks badass, you know what I mean? Like, I just so far I enjoy the character, and I'm hoping, I'm hoping we do get some resolve with her, and I want to find out more because right now she is kind of just like, screw you to the rest of the dudes, and just stabs one of the coolest characters in Rebels, the Grand Inquisitor. And it's like, what the hell is going on? Like right now, it doesn't make sense in a way. And like as much as amazement as these first two episodes were, as great as they were, it definitely left me in shock at the ending. And I was like, where are they going from here? You know what I mean? So what do you
Kendall,
guys?
I was good with this character, and now Kendall's got me wanting Barisafi instead. Like
I mean, like, and it's like, and bro, everything you said about what you loved about Reva, bro, I'm the same way, bro. Like I loved how like she was just like kind of just that ruthless type of person or whatever. But it's just like,
Why is she there?
her, bro? And it's and it's just a thing like you could have made her look like the rest of the Inquisitors. Like like that whole thing is just. It's there, and I don't know. I guess it might be like I feel like it might be kind of pandering to me, like,
Yeah.
and it might be a different perspective for me than other folks. But like, I'm not here for pandering stuff. So like, when you look at, I don't want to take the conversation there, but it just is what like that's just what it kind of feels like a little bit, and I just want to kind of get deeper into like if I can find out that this has a much more different significant meaning to the story, then it's cool. But other than that, like I feel like they're really just. Even the storyline they're going with, bro, like they're like she started from the bottom, like she's from the gutter. Like, bro, when they literally said that she's from the gutter, they said she's from the gutter, bro. Like they are literally saying she's from the.
Well, they don't even say they put her on the gutter level. They don't say she's from the gutter. They say you are the gutter.
You are the gutter. Like
that's thug life, bro. She's from the gutter and she's still here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, is that the story? Like they're
Tupac's
really,
words.
Is that like the side? Is that like the character deep dive that they're building into her, right? Like, is that like they're building this into Kenobi? I just don't know why, bro. Like,
Jedi Mike brings up a great point here. The fact she has a name. None of the other Inquisitors we know have a name other than Trilla. Trilla has a name too, but other than that, like it's fifth brother, Grand Inquisitor, seventh brother, like all these different seventh sister or whatever, all these different Inquisitors, and she's one of the two now that we know that has a name. So maybe there's something to that. And we know all of them, of course, at one point were fallen Jedi. Palpatine brought them in. So, hopefully she is that one of those, kid characters, and maybe that'll pop up in a different show or something at some point. But I'm definitely intrigued by it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm still like, I ain't writing her off, but it's just like
I know.
like on the first two episodes, just like, all right, like, what are you gonna be doing with this character? Because it could have been, any of those Inquisitors that have this type of attitude, and I think it would have been.
No, you're right.
I'm way more interested in her surviving Order 66 than anything else about her, though. Like
that's facts.
To what happened. Yeah, no, I agree, and I kind of want to see more of those Order 66 scenes for sure, and heck, more nightmares for Kenobi. Like I was hoping for like some nightmares of Satine too, but I don't think it'll happen. You know what I mean? Like that would be so impactful, just because like that honestly didn't happen too long before the Empire took over and everything. So like
Mhm.
that should almost be as fresh on his mind 10 years later, like still hurting him as Anakin is.
Didn't they
And like
show her?
I don't think they did. I think
Or
they,
was it
they
like the
showed
opening scene? Like a
I don't think so.
so you're talking about like the recaps. I don't think they showed any animation, and she's never been in live
okay.
action before.
Yeah,
Which like
I don't know what vision I'm seeing. Then I feel
well,
like
so I will say this: there's a scene where he's talking to little Leia, and he says, "You reminded me of someone," or like
okay.
and we're all kind of brought back to images of Padme, and we
What's
think of
going on over there?
we think her mom, Leia's mom, Padme, and how she was everything that he's describing. And I actually love what Kyle Katarn, another YouTuber, had said about it. And I think someone else actually maybe even, tagged Kyle Katarn in it. But basically they said, everything he described about what we think is Padme could be applicable to Duchess Satine as well. Her being a leader and kind of being headstrong and arrogant, kind of, or like, sassy. And it's kind of both Padme and Satine, which is kind of the parallel between Obi-Wan and Anakin. What did you guys think? So I kind of talked to Green Bear about it a little bit before you were getting in here, but what did you guys think of that last scene with the Grand Inquisitor? Do you think he's alive? Do you think it's a different version
He's
of
got
him?
to be alive, right?
That's what I think. But give me your thoughts, guys, because I talked. Green Bear gave a little bit, but what are you thinking, Kendall?
I mean, if Vader's alive, and Vader, you see what happened to Vader. Like, there's no way that Maul survived. Like, bruh,
Yes, that's what I've
the
been
Grand,
saying.
the Grand Inquisitor's alive. I'm more interested. It's like, all right, now Reva just fucking stabbed the Grand Inquisitor. How is she even going to like go with what's next? Like, is she gonna frame Kenobi? Like, is the Grand Inquisitor gonna wake up? Like, bruh, how is she gonna be able to explain the Grand Inquisitor being gone? But yeah, it's like I thought it was cool, but that whole scene there was pretty good. Like it felt good. Only thing it was missing was like a little fight. Like that's not like I just would like to see some like
Yeah.
lightsaber against lightsaber, like just
Yeah.
like that
And
type
they're
of
really it seemed like they were like making you wait for it. You know what I mean?
right, right. And like I mean, I guess it would have been cool to see maybe Reva fight the Inquisitor and like Grand Inquisitor and kill him
Well,
that way or
yeah.
something.
Like,
But not like that scene was dope, bro. I just don't think the Grand Inquisitor's dead.
Green Bear, you don't think so too, right?
I mean, something's got to give, bro. Why go through all the trouble to give that guy that much shoddy detail compared to Rebels to just like replace him with a different guy? Like like Santa's little theory going on. Like maybe this isn't the same Grand Inquisitor. It's like, yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I've heard a lot of people saying that on the internet and everything. And honestly, like I saw a good theory today that I think could make sense if they want to go that route. I don't think they are. Personally, I agree with you guys. I think he is alive. And CT0420 here. How can they kill the Grand Inquisitor before Rebels? I'm confused. Do I have my damn timelines all messed up? You don't, bro. Rebels happens 6 years later, almost 7 is the time of the Grand Inquisitor's actual death. So what the hell's going on? All of us, I think, were pretty shocked by this. And he should be alive. I think he is alive. We're talking here Vader getting basically all his limbs chopped off, Maul getting cut in half. I mean, sure, Qui-Gon died getting stabbed the same way, but Qui-Gon didn't have the dark side in him. You know what I mean? And that's really what kept Maul alive. Vader is that hatred that makes him more strong in a way also, but it makes him more arrogant too, which is like why he didn't see Reva coming to stab him. And to your point, talking about how the Inquisitors earlier, you're saying how all of them should be that ruthless kind of. Most of them are in a way, but there are moments where all of them are kind of wussies. And like throughout Vader's training, a lot of the times he'll cut off their limbs just to make a point, just to try and make them stronger in the dark side. So I think the 10th brother at one point was, or it was either the 10th brother or the 6th, maybe. He's friggin' training against Vader, and Vader chops off his arm, and the Grand Inquisitor goes, "Isn't that a little overboard?" And Vader's like, "No." It's like, that dude lost all of his limbs. He's like, it'll make him stronger, and all of you guys fight defensively like Jedi do, because the Jedi aren't trained to, fight and with force. They're trained to fight with defense to protect. So like he's trying to make them stronger in the dark side. And actually, there's actually a point where the sixth sister, which is the one we see in Fallen Order, who has like the crazy, she's all like bulked up and everything. You know who I'm talking about. She gets her foot cut off by the 10th brother. So we've seen this kind of behavior before with the Inquisitors, where they kind of are willing to betray each other and act pretty wild.
So like actual brothers and sisters. Like this
Yeah, you know,
well,
they
I cut
fight
your
a bit.
fucking toe off. You cut my toe off. No,
Yeah, and then dad is willing to come in and kill everybody at the end, you know.
It's an abusive father. He's doing the best he can, okay?
But that's really how it is. And they are ruthless, so don't get me wrong. But the sixth sister is also like there's a scene or like a comic panel where her and Vader are going off to check up on this message, and she's like kind of wondering, why did Vader come with us? It shouldn't be that big of a deal. Like there's reportings of a Jedi, but it's probably not a Jedi even. And Vader's like, well, you're like, you always need to be ready, kind of a thing. And I was sent because of the Emperor. And you know, he goes and he gets ambushed by these bounty hunter dudes, and he's basically telling the sixth sister, and she's like, well, sounds like they disarmed or like basically jammed all the frequencies around. So like mid conversation with them, it cuts off, and she's like, oh well, and she just kind of like does her own thing, and Vader catches up to her, and he's like, you called them upon me, didn't you? And it's just like this crazy thing. Yeah, that's not all of them. Go for it, bro. My bad. I'm just rambling now.
Real quick question. Oh. I had a question for both of y'all though. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go for it.
Was there ever a question of who the third sister was, or like what happened to the third sister? Like, is that part of that being?
So to your point, she's like kind of a whole new character, which is why I'm like interested in learning about her. And there hasn't really ever been mention of a third sister, and we learn a lot about different ones periodically. Like we still don't know how many there truly are. We don't know if there's like literally 10 brothers and 10 sisters, or if they're kind of is like a mix and match. So far, it seems like it's like one is or we don't really have a one, but you know, third sister now. We have a fourth sister, then it's a fifth brother. So like it seems like they kind of are just interchangeable with the numbers. But it's possible there could be like 20 of these dudes throughout the time period. You know, it is a 20-year time period that they took over and the Inquisitors were active. So,
I mean, they got a whole fortress, man. So
I can't wait to see, by the way. That was dope.
Oh, me too, dude. I freaking love that thing. It's so cool. But to that point too, like, you know, they're only on the fortress because in the comics they screw up on Coruscant, and Palpatine's like, get the hell off my planet, go to Nerd and just build a castle like Vader. We don't want to deal with you anymore. Pretty wild stuff though. I mean, what were some of your favorite parts of those first two episodes?
Bro, just overall, like I've been saying this probably like past couple of years when everybody's just talking about like what they don't like about the sequels and me agreeing with them. But like it's Star Wars, like at its roots, like what makes it a compelling story is just the tragedy of it. You know, the whole thing. It's almost like modern day Shakespearean. If we're gonna get real deep, it's just like a compelling tragedy that could have been prevented. And you notice this in like Shakespeare with like Macbeth, with Caesar,
Romeo and
stuff.
Juliet,
yeah,
and
all kinds.
Yeah.
And in this, we got the tragedy of Anakin that we're all addicted to watching. Like, you know, we got the prequels,
the tragedy
the original,
of the Jedi.
all this, with the exception of really like the Mandalorian. Like everything is kind of built upon that, and like we're getting back to that now.
So far
with the show, we're seeing we're seeing the aftermath of what it did to Obi-Wan, you know, and the supporting cast. So that's what I'm digging about it.
Yeah, I think I'm touching on that too. Is like just filling in this lore. Like I like seeing bits and pieces of. I mean, even though some people think it's cringe, I mean, I like seeing Leia. Like seeing how she's like being as a 10-year-old or 9-year-old. However, she like seeing that aspect. So like I'm always in Marvel. I'm a lore builder type of dude. Like loving to dig into like the past and lore. So seeing this is it's been pretty fun and exciting. Like one of my favorite parts. But I'm more excited for like what's next because I'm really excited to see like Obi-Wan tap more into the Force. Like really like. To kind of get his, like, to get his like not to rest off, because honestly, if he did get in the fight with Reva, like it felt like he shouldn't fight Reva or the Grand Inquisitor at that point, because I felt like it might have been an easy dub.
We need like a Rocky montage for
Yeah, we need like a
like
facts. Like we need Cord to come and be like, "This is the story of a Jedi."
That would be jokes, bro.
Yo, let's talk about Leia though for a second.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's the other thing that's got people pissed off, right? People are
Ooh,
missing out.
I don't know about this. Maybe okay. Let's talk about it.
I'm seeing it. Lots of people being like, "Oh, she's just so annoying. Yeah, she's doing this," and it's like, bro, did you watch the original movie? Like, Leia comes off like prissy as hell right off the bat, like guns blazing at Luke of all people, right? And then she's like, "Oh, I thought stormtroopers were taller," but like, the coolest thing about Leia in this show, if you can overlook the fact that she's way too short to be a 10-year-old, is just when she like sits down and reads her cousin like to a T. Like she just she doesn't just she doesn't just like beat this guy up verbally. Like she dives into his psyche in like 2 seconds and uses everything she possibly can against him. Like that tells you, right? Like she might have been the one that should have been trained instead of Luke. Just
she said, take a seat.
Yeah. Like she's ready, like right now. And she wanted those gloves. She got those gloves. Just saying.
Fact.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect touch. I mean, even like to the market, like when they were out there in the market, she felt like a 9-year-old, like out there in the market. Like it felt like she had her, like she felt like one, she probably felt like she's a princess, but two, she's emboldened. Like that's Leia in her way. Like I wouldn't expect her to be any other way. Like I mean, like really, like how else would you portray her to be? I mean, as a
I thought it was perfect too.
Yeah. Like defiant. Now, one thing I was hoping to see, like when he said "We made me float," I instantly thought of Luke making Grogu float when they were walking. like every time I see a Jedi with a kid now, I'm just thinking like, yeah, just pick him up and carry him on with you. But nah, I thought Leia was a pretty good aspect of the show.
That's funny. Leia was short for a 20-year-old too. Like, yeah, but Luke didn't look that short, and they're twins, bro. Like
she does look like 7.
Yeah.
Like she does look 7. I will say that. But who am I? Like,
no, I agree that she should be about 9 or 10, and she looks maybe like that, but also like I think they used a legitimate 9 or 10-year-old, which oftentimes in studio and movie business they use actors who are a little bit older and say they're younger, so it kind of makes sense that she looks younger than she should when you think about it that way. But I agree. She does look like she's maybe like 7 years old.
Yeah, you get over that part. But
yeah, it's not that big a deal. And I think the actress did an amazing job. Shout out to Vivian Lyra Blair. Like I they brought her out at Celebration at the end, and I was just so freaking hyped. I don't think
it's really set in, bro. Like how big of a deal like she is right now to this, because like, bruh, she's playing she's like baby Jesus right now at this point. like to be real, I mean, when you think about nobody else has really played Luke on screen. Nobody else has really played. I mean, I guess the old dude played Han. But like,
we saw the other little Luke, but he's really
he's played
Luke. Little scene.
Yeah, so like seeing these characters, yeah, bro. Like to me, it's kind of huge to see these characters kind of step into this role. I hope it's not like in 10 years from now to be like, oh, let's cast her to be like a Leia or let's cast him to be Luke and something else just because they're these kids. But
yeah. Tim, we're not saying she's not 10, bro. We're saying she does not look 10 at all.
The camera makes her look almost younger than she is what I guess what we're trying to say. And I agree with them on that aspect. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't really ruin the character or the time period at all. Like Green Bear said, it's nitpicky at that point. But
I mean, the camera always makes you look young. Look at Green Bear; he looks 25.
He kind of does. I mean, I don't look like I'm. I look like I'm 10. So other than the beard, just you shave that off, and all of a sudden it's like baby face with the double chin. So
I just kept this for the stream because I didn't want to look younger than Sheep. This is gone right after this.
Well, at least you can get it. I can't get shit.
You got as much of a beard as Green Bear does.
I got a fucking goatee. Don't I got a goatee. Look, there's nothing there. It's nothing.
Nah, it looks good, brother. It looks good.
Whatever.
Don, I think Carrie would have loved it. I think Carrie would have adored that performance. One of the other highlights I saw, and just like browsing through Twitter with Star Wars Celebration and everything, somebody took a picture back in the day with Carrie Fisher where she's like sticking up her middle finger, and they recreated it this year with Billy Lord, and it just like it made me emotional to see, just because that's her daughter and everything. And it was like, it was just a cool little Twitter moment from Celebration. I wanted to share.
What else about this though? What else you got on your mind about these episodes?
Oh man, dude, when they first showed up, to like the way it starts when they get there after the little 10 years later interval, it shows them walking up on Tatooine. I thought that was pretty badass. I thought they looked way better than originally I expected. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you guys thought on how they looked, but and Green Bear, I know you said he was like, they made it all wonky or whatever earlier, but I thought it was pretty good, especially compared to that first trailer. Like, I think it looks way better than I thought it would be.
Hey, I mean, I would say I thought they made it look dope too, bro. Like, and it felt like Star Wars, bro. Like, to me, Star Wars feels like Rebels in Clone Wars, because like I think that's probably what I spent most of my time in. But it's like there was a scene when they went to the planet. I forgot the name of the planet that they went to in episode 2. Dayu, yeah. Like, bro, the way the colors were vibing off and everything, like it kind of even gave, in the way the back like kind of hall scene was where they had the containers, like that kind of gave me Rebels vibes, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, like it kind of, going back and looking at it, looked like it was straight like just a live action part of Rebels with the neon lighting and what have you, as opposed to like what we saw in Boba Fett, like when they tried to go full on colorful with those people, like it didn't feel natural. This, it kind of felt more like Star Wars and the blending in there. So it's
I agree. It definitely feels very Star Wars. I agree with that, man.
I gotta say though, like I turned hater on this guy as soon as I read that he told the press basically like he did not watch a single episode of Rebels. Like, it's only one season, bro. He didn't want to see anything about the update.
You're about to make me rage. Dude, stop this. Stop this. That's not true. That's not true.
It's not true.
Not true. No,
it better not be.
He confirmed it's not. He confirmed it's not a celebration.
Good.
Who said
So that straight up pissed me off.
There were articles all over the internet that made me infuriated, and I've been holding back on them because it's just like, it's ridiculous. They're literally trying to make people hate on this show. There's literally headlines of YouTube videos and articles everywhere that were saying Rupert Friend didn't watch Rebels. And that's not what he said. That is not what he said at all. He said he almost deliberately didn't watch Rebels in preparation. Almost didn't. That doesn't mean he did not.
I'm cool with that.
He clarified at Rebels, I watched the show and took a lot of inspiration from Rebels. So
good,
and when you watch,
be pissed off at him.
When you watch his performance, you can tell he did. You can tell he did his homework, because it was okay. It felt like a different Inquisitor because he sounds different and looks different in live action. We all agree that he does look a little bit different and sounds a little bit different. But his mannerisms, the way he acted, and I get maybe it's a different one. Maybe it's a clone or what have you, like, and that could be the convincing argument why it felt a tiny bit different, but you could tell he did his homework.
You can tell I can troll Sheev to perfection.
I thought a bee was in his room.
That's what I was gonna say too.
No, I was getting ready to throw my plate. I just didn't want to break it.
You're like, fucking.
You started running in place for a second, like.
But nah, that does suck that like they put that out there. I'm glad you did watch Rebels, though.
I keep going, but I don't know. I thought it was ridiculous. They're trying to say he didn't.
Go back to that Obi-Wan quote.
Which the get out of the seat?
No. The big question. That's perfect. Actually,
big question is, how are they going to explain what memories Leia keeps of these events going forward? What do you guys think?
Would it mess up anything if she remembers? I mean, to be honest, like if she remembers
asking the real questions here,
like would that mess up anything? Because I mean, from my recollection, she sends off a message to Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Do you want my lore perspective, or Green Bear? You want to jump in?
I'll go first, and I'll let you correct me. So I've been hearing people talk about this all weekend too, right? So and yeah, there's a minuscule retcon which they keep just retconning stuff that Alec Guinness Obi-Wan does. Basically, they did it already. I can't think of the example right now. It'll come to me after I say this. But anyway, when he's not even aware of her, like Yoda brings her up, that's the one big retcon we're looking at. But at the same time, Now it makes more sense in the future for her to know he's even on Tatooine to send out the message. And yeah, she doesn't mention like you helped me from a kidnapping before, but it's like maybe she didn't have enough time to get the damn message out, and she did said the easiest thing.
And
But
she,
I know you there. I need you. You know, like.
What were you gonna say, Kendall?
Oh no, I was agreeing with Green Bear. Like, yo, you know who the fuck I am. Like, I don't
Yeah,
have to tell you that you rescue me. Like,
Yeah.
So
you know who
I guess the retcon things it kind of brings up. So Green Bear brings up a good point there that I guess in a way Kenobi, not that he didn't realize about her, but that he didn't see her as a potential another person that could train and take. If Luke wasn't there, he didn't see Leia as an option. And uh, kind of the vibes you get from this second episode in particular when he's walking around with her and Dayu is that he's like, dang, she's a smart little girl, you know what I mean? So like that kind of makes me wonder like why he didn't think of her at that time period. But that's just me also. Like I don't think that retcons anything. It's just more of like, come on, old man, like be smarter. But
It's not just old man though. It's Space Ghost or Force Ghost old man. Like, so he should have known at all, right? Like,
I mean,
that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying.
know. I
They've
don't
been
know about
retconning
that.
him.
It's just because they're a Force Ghost doesn't mean they know they're right or know everything.
Well, we don't know that. We're not Force Ghosts.
They're not omnipresent.
But the other thing I think people will be kind of like weird about with the retcons is that in a way she kind of seems like she doesn't know him in the R2D2 Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. But also I think this kind of can add more context to that in a way, like and now it makes it would add more context in the fact that she's had interactions with him before. Maybe she didn't quite know it was him because he's kind of disguised, but not really. Like she should know him maybe more than Ben, at this point, even though she's calling him Ben and everything. But it adds context to her, saying years ago you fought with my father in the Clone Wars, like that. Now she knows more about him as a Jedi and all of that stuff. And my favorite thing, I think, in terms of context and what it adds is the fact that after all of this happens and years later when she tries to recruit him for help to save Alderaan and everything, she names her son after him.
I was hoping you're going there.
Yeah. And I thought that, like, someone brought that up and I thought that was just genius. Like it does add a lot of impact into why she names Ben Solo Ben Solo. So
yeah, because otherwise you're like, why the hell she name your kids Ben? Like,
yeah.
She didn't even...
So as much as it could bring up questions and fans might get riled up over whether or not it will be, I'm sure it might be divisive as whether or not it breaks canon or whatever. But in my opinion, it can add more than it does any kind of hurting.
No, is that Trinity is not
or Myrtle.
That is Trinity.
That's Myrtle. Myrtle got that account. Myrtle on the keyboard. It's a whamming.
Is this a whamming discussion? Star Wham.
Star Wars whamming. Just get whamming.
Bro, I wish you guys were in the Discord when we were watching the stream the other night. It was awesome. It was so awesome. You don't know what I'm talking about right now.
I know I did.
No, but it sounds lit.
I'm sitting in the Discord and I pop in the Trinity stream and Al happens to be playing just some 80s track randomly. And I'm watching Trinity just go off on a tangent to like an 80s beat behind him because I still got the Discord playing. And I go back in and I'm like, yo, Al, this music is perfect right now to backdrop Trinity stream. So he like rolled with it. Everybody rolls into Trinity stream. And Al's just like playing Michael Jackson music, going nuts. Like it's amazing. And then Myrtle came out too. It was nuts, bro.
So yeah, can I ask y'all this? Where are we headed next?
With this discussion or just in general?
With the just in general with the episode.
Okay.
Episode 3. I need some help.
I don't even know. I'm kind of wondering too. Like as much as I dipped into spoilery kind of stuff, I genuinely don't actually really know. I like this is what I was trying to tell people when I was like going through them. Like at some point I kind of stopped because it felt like, dang, this whole show is getting leaked. But at the same time, like I feel like I don't really know what's going to happen in 3, 4, and 5. Like I think maybe we'll get, Vader coming in after that outro at the end of the second episode. And man, it would be dope to get the rest of the series just, Reva and Vader kind of hunting him down. As Vader will probably see Reva's, stabbing of the Inquisitor, and yeah, and being real smart and how she caught up to Kenobi and everything. He'll probably be like, "Good job," like, what I mean, like. So, and this could be like how the Grand Inquisitor is taken out of the show for a bit, or like he's not really relevant during this, time period of them trying to track down Kenobi. Is Reva said goodbye.
I'm dying for just like a Vader exclusive like next episode. Like
that'll be amazing from his perspective, maybe.
Yeah, like let's take a timeout on what's happening on Dio. Is it Dio? Whatever.
Dio,
yeah. And then just have all Vader, like some flashbacks, just following him around, watch him maybe cut off a couple limbs in the process, and just.
Well, yeah, okay, so thinking of the trailers and whatnot, I mean, the way this last episode ended with him in the back, the tank, kind of like, Theory's fan film at the end, or like during it, it looked almost straight out of that, you know what I mean? And I think it's possible the first scene of this next episode could just be, well, obviously we'll get the little recap, which will be cool, but it might be, him getting the limbs all like put on, like we see in the trailer, and going to talk to Reva, like, you found Kenobi. Like,
I would like to even see him have a like nightmare scene juxtaposition to what Kenobi had. Like have one of those like forced nightmare scenes. Like that'd be very badass from his perspective. Like maybe even showing him on Mustafar, like with the eye closed or whatever. Like, but it'd be dope.
It would be.
Yeah, I'm with it too. Like I'm with Green Bear. Like I wouldn't even mind like just an exclusive episode in episode 3 of Vader. And like
sounds good to me.
Yeah, bro. Going through like years like 2, 4, like kind of maybe even him believing more and more that Kenobi is dead. Like kind of going through that whole journey of like being kind of cool with being Vader, if you will, like selling into Vader. And then now like he could be at peace or what have you with the dark side, if you will, or something. Like, like just be like all like
I want them to save that. Because at any moment, Lucasfilm, like they got this in their back pocket. They could drop a Vader movie and it would be a multi-billion-dollar movie.
But no, they don't. But they don't drop movies anymore.
But I'm just saying,
it has to be.
They can.
And next year there's supposed to be the Taika movie, so
they could do it at any time and just destroy, like any moment. You can't even say that about Marvel. Like they don't have anything in their pocket where they could just be like, "Yeah, this is."
I don't know. I mean, would you really want to? I don't know if I really want to. Like,
I want all Vader, bro. I want a series.
It reminds me of the meme where it's Obi-Wan and Anakin during Revenge of the Sith, and Anakin's like, "I want more. Like I want, sequels of me. Give me movies of Vader." And Obi-Wan's like, "Anakin, the entire saga is your movie."
You're like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know if I really be here for a movie.
Dude, they could give us so much Vader during that 20-year span that we really haven't seen. Like just that glimpse in Rogue One is like, oh.
But like my also thought too is like it seems like they have such a big grip on shit. Like, won't life be kind of boring for Vader? Like, I mean, it's like
it's a lot of
is
pain.
He really like at war right now? Or like I guess at war is with himself, right? But like,
check out these Vader comics, bro. Like he's just guys.
I gotta read the comics.
They're good.
Yeah.
I've been working on this video for freaking months because my old drive freaking got destroyed. But I've been working on a video that basically describes a lot of what happens in the 2017 comics, which are probably the best ones, if I'm being honest. And they talk a lot about the Inquisitors and go into their past and whatnot. So that's kind of I'm covering the Inquisitors, but it covers a lot of that comic series too. But it's good. It's good.
Yeah. You could make like a trilogy just like based on what Vader does after Order 66 alone.
Totally could.
Or a series would be amazing, but you make more money off a movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, so we could even dip in a little bit of the announcements and whatnot with Celebration. I want to get your guys' takes, but Tales of the Jedi, man, that's the one that got me super hyped. Like I don't know how much both of you guys know. I'm sure you've caught up a little bit, but it's amazing, and I think that they could do stuff like that with Vader in the future. Like, we have the character model of Vader at the end of Clone Wars. Bring it back. Even if you did an animated clone like Vader series, you could almost tell a better story that way because you're not limited by live action performance and everything. Like in terms of movement and everything. Like I mean, you could see Vader doing some crazy stuff on there.
Bro, I don't know if you know this, but that shim or that the shim, that pen I shipped to you and said like keep in your front pocket during Celebration, like that was me. That was just camera. I was watching everything going on the whole time. It's wild.
Bro, I hope he did
wild.
not. G took it to the bathroom. When you said,
I flushed it down the toilet, man. I thought that was something else.
Well, then that was a whole another experience that I could write another video about.
I'm playing. What? I don't even know what pen you're talking about. It probably didn't reach me.
Anyway, yeah, Tales of the Jedi looks amazing after my lame joke. But we get to see a young Qui-Gon, a younger Dooku. We get to see basically the origin of Ahsoka, right? And then what am I missing?
So it seems like, from what I've kind of read up on, half the show is going to probably be about Dooku and like different parts of it. So like, I feel like I don't know how long these episodes are going to be either. Like, how cool it would be if they're like an hour long or like 40 minutes, you know? But I feel like one episode is going to be like maybe Dooku training even with Yoda, and then another episode's him starting to like become a Jedi, and then the last one's like him going away from the Order and training Qui-Gon, and you know, having it looked like Yaddle was in one of the scenes, which cool to see another member of Yoda's species. I mean, a lot of people wonder maybe she's even Grogu's mom or something. Maybe we'll find out what happened to her, like when she left the Order and everything. And then, you know, Mace Windu's in there too. So personally, the Dooku stuff is like super, super cool to me. And then to your point, Greenberry, you know, it seems like we're getting something similar with Ahsoka, kind of the beginnings of her life and how she got inducted into the Order. It seems like we're maybe getting a scene of her, or maybe even an episode of her during the Clone Wars again, showing that kind of time period. And then there might even be an episode of her after Order 66 when she maybe gets the white crystals and everything. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for with the show, but I don't really know. But what do you guys think of that? Like, are you hoping there's other characters more in the future? Like,
he's going to get some. No.
Oh. That's a dope little picture he has too.
Nah, bro, I'm all in on Ahsoka, and I mean, I don't know what Kendall's about to say here next, but I'm like, at any moment we can segue into the Ahsoka series because that's what's got me like hyped.
I'll be right back. My kid woke up, but
oh, okay,
for sure.
See, he was going to get some.
It's all good. It's all good. Let me just have him let me know when we're back. But
yeah.
I don't even know what we're talking about now. Tales of the Jedi. It's just dope, man. It's just dope.
That's actually probably the most surprising addition for me that we got there. Like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Like, I was hoping for something kind of like that. Like, I didn't exactly know. Like, I was thinking maybe it's going to be an episode. It's going to be a different Jedi, and like we're going to follow some of our favorite characters in animation again. But I didn't know it'd be quite like this, you know, quite like what we're gonna get.
Yeah, man.
What else? My bad. You can go for it. But I was just gonna ask what else, you know, excited you about Celebration. But go for it.
No, I was gonna say just the fact that they're kicking off that series. Like now, like any just like sidebar, like just stories that Dave Filoni basically would want to tell. Like maybe we want to know. Maybe we want to see an episode about Master Sifo-Dyas, like starting up the clones, you know.
Maybe I totally could see him being in that Dooku arc.
Any stuff that wouldn't like necessarily get its own movie or series, now we can like it can get addressed there. You know, that's a sick concept. I really love that they're doing that.
Me too.
That's what I was gonna say. But.
Hell yeah. But what else did it excite you? You know what I mean?
Oh, come on. Well, all right. So Ahsoka series, right? We'll save that. But that's honestly, I've been telling you since how long now? Like, this is what I'm most pumped up for. I'm even more pumped up for the Mando season 3 one right now, only because I only got a copy of like a bad copy too of like that initial trailer they put out.
Yeah.
Not like
no, I did too. I missed the panel, unfortunately, but it looked sick. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I'm hearing they put out like that one, and then there's an extended one with even more cool shit in it. So like, I need to see that now. I don't know what they're doing to us. Like, I don't know, forcing me to like beg, bargain, and steal for like terrible bootleg copies of these trailers.
Bro, I'm dead.
That I can get like thousands of views on,
Oh my
whatever.
goodness.
So
What's up, Alex James? He says, "Where do you think Ezra is in Ahsoka?" Good question, bro. If I gotta pick a place, I'm gonna say Dave Filoni actually on the live stage at Celebration had said, "You guys want to know where Ezra is?" It was like you freaking teased, and he's like, "He's far, far away." It was like,
I follow this Twitter page. Did Edra Brizard come home today?
oh yeah, me too.
I love it. Like
I love that page. I love that page, man. And he's always like, "Nope."
bad news, y'all. But
didn't happen today. But if I had to take a guess, I'm saying he's in the outer rim. The outer regions that haven't really been explored by the kind of space of the Empire, if you will, or the known space. They're in lesser space, if you will, which is also known as the Chaos region from the Thrawn novel books. So I think he's honestly in the Chaos. Probably at this point, I think him and Thrawn could even be working together to stop an exterior threat to not only the outer rim, but even Coruscant and everything else, the Republic as a whole, even the whole galaxy.
That would be wild. The only thing is, I want to see Thrawn be like a big bad in a crazy Star Wars trilogy or movie. We don't have to necessarily go trilogy, but I don't want to mess that up. So maybe they get a little side quest, but then he goes back to like being like, all right, now I'm coming back to your galaxy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, a little yogurt.
I'm so dead. Do you think we're gonna see young Force sensitives in Ahsoka with Huyang popping up? I don't think I remember. Oh, is that the droid? The like. Help me out here, Obi-Wan, because I totally forget who. I think that's the droid. Dave was trolling so hard. He really was. Just the hardest he's ever trolled. What's up, talented Mr. Griffin? It's good to see you in the chat, by the way. And yeah, earlier, Omi-Wan says, we need a Gungi lightsaber. You need a Gungi lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, you can make the wood lightsaber there. I've always wanted to do that as a Gungi fan myself. What'd you think of Bad Batch trailer?
It was pretty sick. I mean, Gungi was probably the highlight, not gonna lie. But
Gungi is probably how you say it. I love that guy.
But I don't know. Other than that, oh wait, what am I talking about? Gungi, whatever. And then also, didn't you make out or like pretty much almost confirm that that's
Cody?
Yes, that guy.
I can confirm that I can for sure confirm it's Cody. It is Cody. In the Celebration trailer, there was actually a bit of dialogue in there where Crosshair and Cody are talking, and he literally says Commander Cody straight up. And we see the scar. We see he looks literally the same. It's just instead of having the orange paint, it's been stripped off, and it's kind of like a primer gray now on the orange parts. Yeah, welcome back, Kendall.
That's sick and interesting.
Well, hey, so bro, now that you're back, what was your favorite part of the Celebration news? Like, was there any Star Wars news that stuck out to you with everything?
I would like to say that Ahsoka, really. I'm very hyped for the Ahsoka stuff. Like to see that glimpse in Green Bear's video that's taking over YouTube.
Yeah,
that glimpse of hair, like the back of Hair's head, and that's I'm hyped for that, bro. It's that's got me hyped for the jump. So that, and then also the Andor trailer, the Andor trailer was fucking it, bro.
Right back. I'm glitching real quick.
So the Andor trailer, even if it wasn't a Star Wars show, that joint would have stood up heads on, kind of gave me the vibes of an HBO Max show. I don't know if it's the bells or what have you, but kind of got Game of Thrones vibe. I don't know, it just hits, bro. So that very much put it up there. So yeah, and bro, hair is definitely bad as hell.
That's what's up.
Yeah, just to see that stuff. Is the Green Bear all right?
I think he might have glitched out.
Okay, all right, cool.
That's he's like frozen now. I didn't even notice.
Like,
Sorry, we'll probably get out of here in a little bit because
yeah.
we've been going for an hour anyway. But it's been freaking lit anyway. But I agree with you, bro. The Ahsoka show, it's always been one of my most anticipated, maybe even more so than Kenobi going into the Kenobi now. But dude, I can't wait for it. They announced, to your point, Hera and Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine and Chopper came out on stage and everything. Did you catch Mina's tweets?
Nah, I've been having a lot of fun this weekend.
It's been good.
It's been hard to keep up with shit.
Dude, it was hard for me to keep up with shit there. So
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Trust me. But yeah, I mean, so the
brought to restart.
Mina Masood, who was being rumored to play Ezra, was actually tweeting at Celebration, and he's like, shout out to all the Star Wars fans and like congrats on Celebration and everything. And he's basically tweeting out this like whole cryptic message. And someone basically said in the comments, like, way to get around your NDA. And he posted this gif of Tom Cruise putting on these glasses, and he's like it was like, oh, I love this guy, man. If he's not Ezra somehow, like, and this kind of to me confirms it that he is, he's the perfect guy to play Ezra. I like Mina Masad a lot.
I'm not that hip to him. I need to go get hip to him.
I don't know him too well either, but I've just seen
he's Aladdin, bro.
Yeah, he is Aladdin, and he's gonna be Space Aladdin. But
that's all you gotta know.
But dude,
he's not the Aladdin.
Watch some interviews with him though, because his mannerisms and the way he talks and acts, like he's gonna be the perfect Ezra if he is.
All right, bet. But yeah, that's one thing I do want to like. So I found it funny, and I kind of want to bring it up for a second. But like people were talking about like Kathy Kennedy's comments on like Donald Glover, and like was like he was taking too long, and like that's what's like. Have y'all heard about those?
I honestly haven't. Talked to me about this.
I heard like it was just Josh had his list on the dinner nurse this stuff that Kathy Kennedy says this shit on. And she was like, "Well, we're waiting on basically just of it is like we're waiting on Donald Glover. He's so busy, his schedule is this way. That's why it hasn't happened yet." And people were like,
she did put some blame on Donnie.
But no. But see, the thing is, people are saying they're putting the blame, but she's fucking telling the truth, bro. Like Donald Glover, I'm like, fuck that. Like, dude, work harder, bro. Like, bro, like my man's waited 3 fucking years to put out Atlanta, like his own show. Like, bro, like you're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be waiting for years to get this.
He's not even making music like that anymore.
Right?
Is he?
Like, what the fuck is he busy with?
His money, man. He's just doing what he wants to with it. Like,
exactly.
Give him
he's
a
not
break.
Busy. He's just chilling, bro.
Yeah.
He's not busy. He's just chilling. So like, I just wanted to bring that up because people are like, I know people like might not be all into the culture of like that side, like whether it's Childish Gambino or whether it's Donald Glover with Atlanta. Like some Star Wars fans might not be on the side of culture and be throwing hate at Kathy for that shit. But on this case, on this instance right here, he deserves all the shade for that shit because I'm like, bruh, fuck is taking you so long, my man? It's like, bring this shit out. But nah, man, Star Wars Celebration, bro. Like it was, to me, bro, it was really good. Like I haven't seen Star Wars like this before since I've been a Star Wars fan. Where people like it seems like the most positive, most overwhelmingly positive stuff I've seen on Facebook in a while. I mean, on Star Wars in a while.
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, just in general. I didn't even see shit on Facebook, but like just seeing it in a while. So it's like seeing that stuff is was like okay. And it's got me excited to go to a con next year because like I saw pictures, like I saw y'all like your streams and like stuff up there, like Star Wars Obsession stream. And I was like, yeah, like I'm definitely going to a con next year, like
some sort of con, right?
Yeah. Probably won't go to a Star Wars one to be 100 because I gotta.
Well, the fact that it's in London next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I know it's gonna be hard for people.
I wouldn't even know because like I'm Marvel.
No, I get you.
So like it definitely be like probably a Comic Con or like a Disney type shit, but. Yeah, man, like it's just seeing that type of stuff was good for Star Wars, and I think a lot of fans like saw it too. Like I don't know, it feels good. I don't know about y'all. Like, what do y'all think about it?
I mean, being there it was something else. Like I'll say this, like there was some very stressful moments for me, and like it was my first one, so like I think it's supposed to be, or not supposed to be, but it's going to be overwhelming and stressful the first time. And like, maybe that's any con. and like there's almost too much going on to where like I was missing stuff left and right, and I honestly on me because I scheduled way too many like autographs and stuff. If I'm being real, like I did one, at least like one every day kind of a thing. Like that's kind of how it was. So like I literally planned ahead for Sunday because I didn't want to miss the Bad Batch panel. It was like I have a Daniel Logan signing that's at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and the Bad Batch thing's at 11. But Thursday I missed the Lucasfilm showcase because I had a Sam Witwer signing at 10, and I didn't get into the convention until 10:30. And at 11 o'clock, homie wasn't there yet because of all the traffic and craziness of celebration. So I'm sitting there, like my girlfriend's in the freaking Lucasfilm showcase. I'm sitting there like, what the heck? And they tell me I need to print out this QR code. So I go to like customer service and I'm like sitting there and my girlfriend's like texting me. She's like, oh my God, John Williams is here and Harrison Ford just came out. I'm like, no.
That's when you get up out of your chair.
She's all like, there's a Mando 3 trailer, like this happened, that happened. I'm like, oh my God.
It was fun just watching you guys turn into little kids, bro. Like Obsession's channel, he's sitting there like going to say hi to Grogu. Like he's walking around the shit. Yeah. I'm like,
dude,
what are
you
doing
guys
right
haven't
now?
checked that out? Like, I didn't get to do that because I was literally so busy while I was there. But there's this whole Mando experience that Obsession recorded on his channel, and they have literally the full size scale N1 Starfighter there. They have like stuff from the volume and different characters and from the sets and different things. So it's such a cool little experience to watch him go through, and it was so cool that they did that with fans. And you're right, we're all like little kids when we're there. Like, I mean, there's this dude who's like in a General Grievous costume, just like going like this. And my girlfriend's like, "How does he go to the bathroom?" I'm like, "The suit's his bathroom now."
He's got a cat.
That's the one part that would mess me up, man. I don't know how I handle all the cosplay. I just feel like
it was cool though. Like a lot of fans put so much effort. Like, I mean, I just bought like a $100 or a couple $100 outfit and like smacked it together, tried to add my own little things, and even then it didn't really, like, the little things didn't work out, and part of my cosplay was like ripping because I was using stuff as like pockets and whatnot. And it's definitely a struggle cosplaying, and shout out to the people who do the full like get up and put in all that effort, because I'm just like, whew, it's hot in that suit.
Yeah, the helmet actually make it? I didn't even follow.
So I did finish the helmet. I got in the other room, and it's a little bit big, and I needed extra padding and stuff. I got the visor in there, and we ended up not really carrying around too much, unfortunately, which all that effort that I put in, you know what I mean? But now I have the experience, and I'm already a good chunk of the way into a Rex helmet, and I'm happy I gained the experience.
I was just gonna say I don't hear the 3D printer going.
No, I moved it out of here finally, so
hey,
the fans don't have to deal with the background noise anymore.
But is it going? Is it going though? Ain't it?
At the moment, it's actually not.
Okay.
I unplugged. I'm taking a little break just because I was so exhausted from celebration and Memorial Day. I mean, shoot, before we go, like this morning I went to work for like 3 hours, and my boss gets there and he texts me. He's like, "The fuck are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "It's Memorial Day, go home." I was like, "Okay."
Look, it's my first Memorial Day off since like I was in college, so
yeah,
I knew that I was gonna fucking know today was
nice.
I know, I was like surprised I had it off. I'm like, "Oh, we do that? All right."
I don't know what you guys are up to for the rest of the night. I'm probably about to get on out of here if you guys are streaming. I know it's late on the East Coast, but I appreciate you guys for being here and talking Kenobi with me. I think it's been a blast. Shoot, I was thinking of something when you guys were talking there I want to say, but I don't even know what I was going to say anymore. That's what I was going to say. Such a sheep moment, but... Thank you guys for being here. I hope you Memorial Day, I want to touch on that real quick. Shout out to the veterans and everybody in the US. Today is all about honoring, the fallen soldiers and people that, protect our country and the rights that we have here, and, allow us to do this nerdy content. So just shout out to them, and, happy Memorial Day to everybody.
Thanks. Happy Memorial Day to everyone.
Amen.
Like, fuck war, but much respect to everyone.
I mean, we have a semi-active duty service member on stream, don't we?
Who, me? Oh,
Talking about this, hold up, this guy.
Yes.
This
Thank
Zelensky
you
looking
for your
guy?
service,
You know?
sir. Thank you for your service, Mr.
yeah,
Mr.
but
Green Bear.
she'll Memorial Day. See, like Memorial Day is about the fallen, so it's
It
like
is.
my
I
aunt
know.
like texted me this morning. And she's like, "Hey, thanks for serving." I'm like, "I'm still alive." And she's like,
I'm still alive.
I know it's
Still
mainly
alive.
about the fallen.
Yeah.
I just, we want to give love to the people that do actively serve today too, because as much love as we give to the fallen, and we obviously honor them today on days like this, we want to honor the people that do actively serve too, and that can hear us, honor them and everything. So much love to everybody that does, and of course honor those that have sacrificed everything for us and for the country. So, and
yeah, man.
thank you.
Thanks for having us on,
here.
man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming on. I think it's been a pretty fun discussion. Just glad we're able to talk about Reva without all getting butthurt and everything.
Yeah, it's no need to get butthurt over somebody that's kin shit, right? Like, nah, it is some hate, but like
of course,
love over hate. Oh,
of course.
I'm here for the fights, bro. We just didn't find one yet.
Look, like, I'm definitely down for some fights because like it's like kind of built in me. Like I'm ready to bring out.
All right, y'all. Well, go check out Green Bear's channel. I think you might have a new name coming here soon. I don't want to.
It's possible, but it's the Beskar Boner for now.
So go check out the Beskar Boner, and then of course my boy Normies to Nerds, Kendall. Go check out both of their channels as they do some great content following Star Wars, Marvel, and all things nerdy content. Really.
Oh, yo, you know what? I'm gonna plug him here too. Just
do it.
Injecting. So go check out Quentin Time podcast.
Oh, please.
You can see an interview from me coming up on Wednesday. Sheev, if you go back a little farther, and right in the middle, Kendall from Normies to Nerds. We all went up and chilled with that guy. He's a cool guy. It was a really fun experience, and honestly, you guys will like it. If Tim's got that, he'll
definitely do it.
That link too.
Quentin's a great dude, so definitely go check that out as well.
It's definitely dope conversations, man.
For sure. Hey, and speaking of dope conversations, it's been dope. It's been real, y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and may the force be with all of you guys. Peace out, you guys.
Later, man.
Oh, wait.
Yo, look at that camera. Look at the camera.